Dawn into Seraphine, even into Xin Zhao when he's jumping forward, you get those concussive
But isn't
blows
Braum
off.
just kind of miserable into range sports in general?
100%, yeah.
pretty tough
Braum is
matchup.
really strong at the moment.
It's good at, I feel like I'm hearing some bias here. It's good into the top side.
26.3. It was 26.3, you're right. Sorry, Jack, we totally interrupted.
Yeah.
Benny and I want a pedantic streak there, we totally interrupted.
It's all
Jack,
good.
give us the actual analysis.
I mean, Braum is pretty rough into the bot lane matchup, as you say, Vedi. But it's
aber,
good into the top side. But I think the Nautilus, Nautilus to Leah, really good combo.
Ich mag den
Little bit
Treudraft
more
mehr.
engage. And it also doesn't give too much like cleanse or Merc Treads value, because Nautilus doesn't really have any CC that you can do much against. So I like what G2 has built here, but I like both drafts, to be honest. I think I'm favoring MKOI because they have so much tanking.
Aber was hat mir dann... Oh, Calypso, danke schön für den 7. Vielen Dank.
That Seraphine that will scale up and do so much later on.
I guess for me, the things that concern me is Zin's dashing into Leah. I think that...
Ich mag den Draft von MKOI deutlich mehr.
They do have a lot of poke.
Deutlich mehr.
I feel like the strength of Ashe is her slowing self-peel both synergizes nicely with the Seraphine, which...
Der GDL-Tag nochmal, den gibt's nicht, wo du gecancelt.
Root into trap combo.
If you get the empowered Seraphine E, then it's pretty reliable, I'd say.
Okay, yeah.
And especially with the ultimate as well.
Der ist nicht gut, alles gut.
Cleanse on Hansama. As we enter game 2 here, I think there's a lot Alvaro can definitely do, but it's not as easy to execute Ashe Seraphine, as you say, Vedi.
Okay, fair. Well, let's see what they bring to the table. KOI had a fantastic early game. It didn't result in a huge early gold lead, but the things that they did do was, first of all, put pressure down onto Caps. We know that G2 has...
Wann wird das hart carryen? Wirklich? Weiß ich nicht.
Early game control and advantage, and putting him
Weiß ich nicht,
is definitely a step
ob ich so zustimmen würde.
They also had masterful control over all of the early dragons, and I think that throughout the first 20 minutes of the game, it was non-stop pressure from KOI onto G2.
Labrov going for the Oracle's Adoration instead of that warding trinket to start things off here. Wants to try and control these bushes as much as possible. You don't want to give Seraphine control of that middle bush because she walks out, auto attacks you, walks back. It becomes really hard for you to trade effectively. You can also use the beat drop, that E or the high note to get the extra.
Ich glaube, Game 1 war in der Theorie ein Freeman für MKOI, die es dann geworfen haben.
Super.
Oder nicht gesnowballt bekommen, nicht durchgesnowballt bekommen haben, sagen wir es eher so.
Really good trades from MKOI here. They hit all their key spells while dodging the Nautilus hook, and you see these Alvaro E's are continuing to land. And that means that they're going to get full control of bot here. I think MKOI are looking to kind of just repeat the early game from game 1, try to leverage this bot prio to stack drakes and have a nice, stable early game. One crucial thing about this game is that
Man geht in die Duke mit Kiba, sobald 500 PS.
neither of them have teleport. So if Caps dies to an early gank like we saw last game, he can lose a lot of minions and be put really far behind.
Same is true to Jojo. If he is caught out early on, perhaps with an early gank from Skumond on this Jarvan, it's very tricky for him to play. It's been a while since we've seen Alvaro on this Seraphine pick. All the way back in 2021 when he was playing for the KOI.
Wir sind gefühlt komplett weg von Buff Last machen, ne? Wegen dem 530-Ding.
Yeah.
For the guy. Don't think a Seraphine is something that we would usually associate too much with the player, but one of the best supports in the league, often challenging for that position as the best support in the league, has tried his hand at everything and has been pretty successful at all of it.
Absolutely. Bit of information going to be garnered. Hook being threatened. Alyoyo spotted out. Will that hook come through from Labrov? Yes, it will.
Lands the root onto Alvaro. Hansama did get slowed by the beat drop. Skumon here first. Lots of damage to Labrov.
Super! Holy! He puts
Impressive.
the trap down and then does the EW combo to get a trap behind Labrov, which he then chains with the Q to take Labrov down. That was some clean Caitlyn mechanics.
And I think he also just stacked a headshot passive too. I think he got 3 headshots off in that skirmish.
Es gibt Steak.
Like, as I was wondering where the third one was coming from, and I'm pretty sure it was just him
No,
building
it was
one up.
the first trap, then the E, then the second trap.
And the second W, yeah.
Is there a
headshots from
cooldown? I didn't realize that there
no
was 2
cooldown.
traps. Okay,
you
my bad.
You can stack them.
Yeah,
there is a cooldown,
first-
it has to replenish, but
Yeah,
it's similar to Heimer's
Okay, we'll see it here.
Put
So he
down.
gets the first trap off of the CC
Yes.
from Alvaro.
Root
Then
trap.
he does EW combo. You can cast the W
And
while
there's
you're
the second
Eing,
trap.
and the
Yeah,
second trap
that's-
is behind
Okay,
Labrov.
clean, man. That
Triple
was
heads.
clean.
It's very nice.
Well played there,
Nein,
buddy.
jetzt holt
Taking
immer.
names, and because of that, MKOI able to get more push down towards his bottom side. Already almost an 8.
Das Game ist so... Also erneut, das Game sollte so ein Freeman sein für MKOI.
In the bot lane, one
Es sollte wirklich so ein Free-Win sein.
Watch in this series.
Auch gegen Java und Rumble.
Game 1, but more about the scaling here. We see Hans Sommer and Super battling out for early game control.
Now, of course, this graphic doesn't include the Game 1 performances
Yes.
from both of these teams, but you recognize that. Oh, hang on a minute.
Super caught out. He's going to have to use the cleanse.
What the fuck?
Heal comes out. Hans Sommer has to back away. LeBron will be able to get the kill. Alvaro forced away.
What the fuck?
That might be a caster curse and a half as LeBron. Does he have the hook?
Flashes forward. He was looking for the
What the fuck?
blows there, but just not quite off cooldown.
Wieso?
Get the auto
Wie?
reach, but Alvaro was able to flash out, but Super ends up dying, and the gold lead is still in his favor, but it swung slightly back into Hans Sommer.
I mean, the craziest thing about that was, had Super based yet, or were they both just sitting on a
not
dorm
based.
slate?
No, he was still sitting on the gold,
I was
yeah.
going to say, because obviously if he'd had an opportunity to go back to base, then
Super unserious.
the item differential would have made it. But now it's Hans that gets to come back with a BF sword as well. So just like that, a nice hook connects from Lebrov.
Green
And
prison. Good flag and drag over the wall there by
Ich bin eher Richtung Well Done.
Sometimes can be tricked right at the edge of the flag and drag range. If you put your flag
bin
down,
eher
you
Richtung
can be
Well Done
pushed
meistens.
over the wall just outside of the Dragon Strike, I think it's called, the Q.
I've been victim to that many a time.
But I feel like this game, it highlights the character of Super. Do really cool, crazy play, and then immediately make a mistake to kind of
But I
lose
mean,
the lead.
was it a mistake? Because I'd have to look at the state of the lane. But the
I mean, I
thing
feel
about Nautilus and a
It's
hook
hard
jam,
to say because we were in the replay, but
Yeah.
for sure when you kill the enemy support, you should be able to have a base timing before Lebrov gets back. That would be my criticism, that they weren't able to base.
So I think part of it was Elyoya came down and they were looking for a dive on Hans Sommer before Lebrov could get back out. And then
Oh.
after they looked for the dive, Lebrov was already there. And they were like, oh, we need to get another wave in, try and get the push in to make sure that we have an advantageous recall timing. Didn't get it, and because of that, didn't have the gold spent. As we see both the junglers down towards this bottom side once again. Still a lead for Super. Up by
Alvaro's
about
walking
200
up
gold.
very far here.
That he is. Flag and drag into the hook.
Ich check's nicht.
No escape. A volley from Hans Sommer. And the arrows from his quiver find their mark.
Das ist natürlich ein guter Play von MKOI, right? Von G2.
Squishy champion.
Aber also das ist, also irgendwas stimmt hier nicht.
The hook range and
Irgendwas stimmt hier
top
nicht.
of him, he
Ich glaube nicht, dass es so passieren sollte.
his therapy and is so squishy.
I mean, for me though, we've been seeing Alvaro play.
Also
way
bis
more
er auch ihm erklären, ja.
We've seen Nami.
Bei Echo weißt du dann nicht, wo der Schatten ist,
Isn't too much of a surprise. The biggest surprise.
quasi.
Not back.
Hunter Cats.
Das heißt, das ist ein Überraschungsmoment. Und bei Talia,
Spell place won't be enough. Goes used.
bei Talia ist so, wenn du Damage bekommst als Talia,
Lebrov hit.
wenn du als Talia Damage bekommst, bist du für 3 Sekunden Lockdown von Haradaki.
And Caps will be able to retreat.
Okay, quite.
Bist du für 3 Sekunden Lockdown vom Ulten. Das heißt,
Skirmishing happening.
was du machst, ist, du wartest den Damage ab,
G2 that's getting the better end of this. We look at the carries and that goal difference is now.
skillst dann Ulti und ultist instantly. Dann kannst du nicht gecancelt werden.
Onto Alvaro.
Gibt dir quasi einen Free Escape.
To me is that
Lass ihn den Punkt unskillt? Ja, sie lassen den Punkt unskillt. Weil du es ja brauchst. Also, du hältst es ja für Situationen, in denen du es brauchst.
Because the chains combo CC, like it, I mean, it's ruthless.
You guys mentioned the teleports not being on these mid laners early on. Lebrov stays around to hold the wave for Caps. We saw Jojo actually stopping his recall.
Was während der Bird, während der Levels?
Complete it, but doesn't have the option just to TP back.
Also drückst du halt R. Also du spammst quasi R und dann drückst du weg, ja.
Hans Sommer still has flash. Chota Crystalao going on to Alvaro. The hook going between the uprights, but Alvaro without flash and only with a heal.
Bro, what are we doing?
Without Ranger's focus from Hans Sommer is enough to secure the kill.
And MKOI, they're trying to go for too much at once
Jojo.
here, but Jojo's here.
Hans Sommer still has flash. He's going to use it to get across the wall. Ace in the hole. Lebrov can block, but he doesn't. Jojo flashes forward as well.
Bro.
That's not moving from the mid lane means that Lebrov here is
Bro.
all on his lonesome. He'll go down. MKOI claim 2.
A much needed
Bro.
drone from Jojo to get
Bro, bitte.
involved in the map. This bot lane was getting so violent, and they needed it to go the way of Koi. So involving the Rise was a much needed play. In a 2 versus 1, Hans basically able to push them back. The arrival of Lebrov swing the bot lane 2v2 in their favor. Alvaro drops, but then Jojo arrives.
Yeah, and a really intelligent roam here by Jojo because we saw that mid lane was frozen. So Jojo just says, I don't
Ja.
care about the mid wave. You guys are fist fighting on bot. I will move, even if
Er ist so ein bisschen nach oben gelaufen, ne? Schade.
ulti, Jojo's still gonna finish on Sama. And with that, it's 2 kills going for the way of MKOI.
And Jojo, even though he lost that wave, gets himself a kill. Now has a 450 gold lead over Caps on this Talia. Catalyst of Aeons and the tier already stacking up for him.
Don't forget that Jojo had already built up about a 15 CS lead in the matchup as well. And we talked about it in game 1, but I do think that Jojo is the guy that does push caps like this in the laning phase. He's not afraid to play in your face. He's not afraid to find his own leads. And also it helps that Elyoya is ready to cover him, which we've seen a couple times already in this game. Even if he doesn't gank, he's just in the vicinity to try and put some pressure down onto caps.
We haven't looked much up towards the top side. Broken Blade on this Rumble, as expected.
Also erneut, wenn G2 dieses Game gewinnt hier mit dem Draft, den ich schrecklich finde, 3-0. Das, also IMO.
It's gonna be hard for Mirwin until he gets that first real sizable magic resist item to deal with this Rumble, at least in the lane. Also, knowing that Skewmond is on this side of the map because he's just taking the grubs means that Mirwin does have to play a little bit more passive. Elyoya using that time, though, to come down towards the bottom side. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Ignite on Super, he'll cleanse it away. Lebrov going to fall.
Lebrov flat.
Yeah, he did, and immediately got knocked up. I think he face planted on that Kit Kat, but wanted to take a quick break.
Ein Glück bin ich gerade am Essen und kann nicht so wirklich über das Game nachdenken.
Because they were like respecting, and Skewmond is invading their top side.
Ein Glück.
But I think Lebrov thought if he lands the hook on Supa, they can trade 1-for-1, and they did do a lot of damage, so if he was actually able to land it, maybe it would have been a different story, but it ends up being MKOI just being able to crash the wave, and now it's Supa with a near 1,000 gold lead.
It's just been a fist fight in the bottom lane, swinging between the two AD carries. At the end of the day,
Man findet den Drop von G2 so schnell. Man findet den MKOI Drop.
Of course, it is Supa that has that early advantage. He's actually sticking around for another wave.
MKOI Drop deutlich besser. BB auf Rumble war bisher ja so okay. Würde ich sagen. Mag Talia als Champion nicht. Und ich mag Ash zusammen mit Braum nicht. Mit Nautilus nicht. Sorry.
With Drake up in a minute's time, Broken Blade might not think about the fact that Elyoya could be there. There's also the possibility of Jojo moving up with the Realm Warp, but immediately runs back. A lot of pings coming out from G2, and Broken Blade respects the fact that perhaps there's someone there. Alvaro going to get caught out by Skewmon with that initial knockup. Alvaro does have the flash, will use it. Also holding on to that.
Good play. Honestly, good play.
He's dead.
Yeah, that means Super's on his way. And Jojo is kind of eyeing perhaps a Realm Warp across. Beat drop. There's the Dredge line out, and Hun Summer secures the kill. 30 seconds on the Drake. Alvaro will be up in about 13.
So we're just taking it in turns, trading support kills.
Yeah.
I mean, look, 3-1-1 for Hans, 3-1-1 for Super.
Good play.
1-3-1 for Lebrov, 0-3-3 for Alvaro. The supports have not had a lot of fun in this game, I would say.
Yeah, we're contributing to both the Nautilus Death Fund and the Skarner Relief Fund by killing the Seraphine as much as possible.
Dragon now in 8 seconds. With the numbers advantage, G2 have position, but it looks like after investing so much in getting that kill, they want to get the reset off. The Storm Razor completed as well for Super, puts him in a nice spot to contest this trade.
Skewmon just hit level 9. Elyoya yet to hit level 8.
That's a great point, yeah.
Really efficient pathing by Skewmon here as he looks for Jojo, forces the ghost. Drake is up, and Lebrov is a bit delayed, so it's going to be MKOI starting that up. Oh, yeah, they've started it up. But G2, they want to contest.
I'm going to look for this. The Hex Tech Drake.
Einmal keine Serapin-Ulti. Oh, weit doch. Die ist nicht auf Gründung gegangen. Oh.
Onto Elyoya, Crescent Guard out, capped with a seismic shot back, and the
okay.
shield from the locket
Schön
still rooted. A volley over the wall will kill off Alvaro. Elyoya falls second, and now Jojo tries to join the fray, but immediately is knocked up. The chase continues for Skewmon, and the last man standing, but he'll burn where he stands. BB cremates him under the towers. G2
and it's BB with the teleport.
Alles contesten, was wir müssen. Eine Chillpille nehmen. Contest. Immer alles contesten. Okay.
It's a 4 versus 4.
Okay.
BB is here and he is burning them down. Mirwin tries to push in this top side, but it's going to be the Drake going to G2 and 4 kills for G2.
I think that Jojo just arrived late to the fight as well. He did have the Realm Warp, but he ultimately Realm Warped to his death.
Contest.
That they could create the numbers advantage even quicker than their opposition, and their collapse was so fast that KOI didn't really have a good response. That is now a 2.3k gold lead going the way of G2. They have 2 dragons to their name. They have the grubs as well. Everything just looking G2's way here in game 2.
Ein bisschen contesten.
1,000
Wir können nicht chillen und
Mirwin
skillen.
didn't have teleport, so wasn't going to be able to join that play anyway. But I remember the days when Broken Blade on Rumble, it was just something we didn't see. Like last year, Rumble and Jace, we asked for it over and over again. Now we've seen him on it a couple of times this split. This is the 4th. There's one
Oder was macht er?
Alvaro with the heel, Broken Blade flashing forward, Ordo's
Ohne Spaß.
who went into the
Insane.
danger zone, overheated, and still manages to get himself out. Super has to cleanse the arrow that came from the mid lane from Hans Summer. And Broken Blade should be able to back away here. Maybe we'll stay around. It's on a ward. BB has the equalizer in 2 to just look to clear this wave. Lavrov comes across. Super's going to get slowed. The flash available for the Caitlyn. The Cataclysm 2 for Skewmon. Puts him in the cage. Flash away.
Oder warum flashst du da? I mean, I guess er holt Zeit. Obwohl. Ja, vielleicht wäre der Flash. Bin mit vollen Infos. Keine Zeit raushauen fürs Caps und Ding. Für Elioya und Judo.
G2 are just getting everything here. So Yoya maybe wants to try to get something going, but there's just nothing left in the tank. Soup and Alvaro both end up falling, while Hansama is just able to hit mid tower for free.
And Skewmon and Lavrov were on vision. They knew that they were there. MKOI knew it. They thought they could react. Losing their AD carry too quickly, and now losing the gold leads that they had developed. Only 800 gold separates Jojo and Super from Caps and Hansama in totality. And on the rest of the map, all I'm seeing is blue.
I mean, it's 5 deaths for Alvaro in this game. He has been the target. His positioning has not been great at times, and G2 have consistently tried to punish him, and they've ultimately succeeded.
I mean, Alvaro was worth 120 gold in that last death.
Jesus.
So he's not having the greatest game thus far, and it's just the problem when you fall behind on this Enchanter support.
Yeah.
You have so little levels, you have so little resistances, so it's so easy to just continue getting farmed and killed on repeat. Whenever Skewmon has that ultimate, whenever BB has the equalizer, or even Lavrov just with a hook, it's so difficult for Alvaro to actually have impact up until he gets 2-3 items much later in the game.
I mean, it's why we see hook champions into Enchanters so often, right? Because of how effective they can be. Like, oh, I landed 1 piece of CC on you, you'll probably die.
Kill him on repeat.
Yeah, exactly. So once the snowball starts, it becomes very difficult to stop. The good news for KOI is they will secure the first tower of the game, so that's a nice injection of gold.
Ja, Problem ist nur, jetzt hat G2 vom dritten Drake haben sie auch Herald. Und damit ist der Fight wahrscheinlich auch wieder fucked und der Jojo ist auch da. Ja, komm. Ist fein, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Es ist fein.
We're hooking and we're fishing. The harpoon finds the whale in the jungle. Elioya falls. Jojo's going to chase out Caps. The overload not connecting, and Skewmon already back here
Okay.
with that empowered recall from the Rift.
Also perfekt, dieses Game, weiß ich nicht, Chat.
Weaver's wall forward from Caps. Jojo trying to trade in. The seismic shove will knock him back.
Rise oder Rumble würde ich jetzt mal schätzen.
Jojo flashes and
Weiß nicht, wer First Pick hatte, aber Rise oder Rumble wird es gewesen sein.
gets out alive.
Credit to Jojo, just barely getting away with his life. He has to commit the flash, but my goodness, G2 are not slowing this game down, and I think a lot of the credit deserves to go to Skewmon once again. We think back to last year's summer, it was he who earned the finals MVP. It was he who got the better of Elioya in the
G2.
after Elioya came into the finals, considered to be the better.
G2, wir sind ja fein mit dem G2 hin. Nee, vielleicht nur MKOI gar nicht.
Broken Blade locked in the alcove. Elioya here to keep him in. Flame Spitter out. Elioya has no ult, but I don't think Broken Blade has the damage to work through both of these right now. They dodge away from the harpoon. Wind becomes lightning. Broken Blade still getting chased out. No equalizer for him too. In the end, should die even with the
Skewmon hat eine sehr gute Series, ja. Definitiv. Agreed.
And will escape the tower's clutches, but the chase perhaps can continue. It's TP out from Mirwin.
Skewmon hat eine sehr gute Series.
For the flank as well, the arrow. Elioya dodges. Alvaro and Super on their way up here to make sure that Elioya can extricate himself from a sticky situation.
Just barely. Broken Blade not able to get out there. A nice TP from Mirwin. He knew he was being collapsed on by not just Caps, but Skewmon and Hansama with the arrow as well. So it ends up being just a free kill for them, and Elioya gets a little bit of revenge at least. Although you can see how hard it is for MKOI to make any plays right now. Took so much just to take down BB.
Didn't get the tower either.
Gleich mal essen.
These two teams met in the upper bracket twice last year, in spring and in summer. 3-1 on both occasions to G2. On the first, MKOI were able to come back through the lower bracket, win the finals in the second. It was G2 who brought home the title. That victory versus MKOI.
It was a 3-0 in the summer, wasn't it? Yeah.
In the summer. But yeah, 3 times 3-1. 3 times 3-1, 1 time 3-0 last year.
Oh, Skewmon super space checking again.
There's no way this is a fight though, right?
Yeah, it's not a Zehen. Jarvan
Okay.
does have
That's
damage,
true.
but we're not looking at like Collector Eclipse
Wow,
Jarvan.
hier passiert
Looking at Thunder Sky, Black Cleaver.
relativ wenig. Ich meine, jetzt wollen die scalen, aber jetzt ist halt schon so voll in die Wand gefahren.
Bot lane just yet. Third dragon of the game goes the way of G2, and in game 1 we gave KOI so much credit for how they executed the early game, but G2, I mean, they were willing to scrap against KOI, and they've just been getting the better of them. That single fight around the dragon really cementing their lead, where they got 4 kills for 1. A tower will fall. Top tower, I think, getting pretty low as well, as Caps is left by his lonesome up there. Observers showing us on the bottom right of your screen.
LeBron might be caught here though.
Beat drop goes wide. LeBron is able to dredge line out. There was the possibility of a CC chain. You have the snap trap to follow up, and you have Elyoya coming in from the side. But because the beat drop doesn't connect, we're in the wrong BPM. Not my tempo for the rest of MKOI. Broken Blade spots Jojo. LeBron's coming across as well. Has that depth charge. Jojo trying to trade in. Elyoya on his way to try and help out his mid laner. Equalizer down. Jojo caught with the dredge line. Elyoya dashes forward, flashing in by Broken Blade. As Jojo, with an encore from Alvaro, is able to find the kill.
I mean, Jojo's doing his best in the situation that they've got, and the support comes in at just the right time. Now Super caught out.
Skewmon going for the chase here. An arrow goes out. Super has to flash a flash cataclysm from Skewmon. And he lands the
Stomp.
lock to secure the kill.
He's not done.
Alvaro now on his lonesome. There's a flash for LeBron. No flash for Alvaro. Flag and drag dredge line. And once again, it's hook line and sinker as Alvaro falls.
Ja, 3-0.
What a beast!
3-0.
Can't even blame Super for that one. He wasn't face checking. He was just trying to play an ADC. But Skewmon just runs him down. He outplays and plays it so well, and that allows him to then rotate the bot as well. But let's watch Jojo. Some fancy feet once again here. He kites BB out and then uses the Realm Warp to create distance and get himself close to Elyoya. He knows that he can't get cancelled because LeBron is too far, and LeBron really wants to CC Jojo with the ultimate by hitting Elyoya, but he doesn't get it, so BB doesn't have enough damage. And now, I mean, Super took this
Hello,
was
Rich.
happening. He knew. Like,
War Alvaro gerade 120 Gold wert? Ja, ja.
yeah, like Hansama is clearing mid wave under tower. I understand why Super thinks it's fine to walk here, but
Oh, but he uses the E as well, which means that Skewmon rather knows, okay, well, this is free.
yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the minimap and I'm thinking to myself, maybe Elyoya could have fought LeBron, but
154.
recognizes hang
Oder vorwärts. 120, glaube ich, haben sie gesagt.
Caps on the way as well, not worth it. Decides instead to go back to base, and 13
ADC Good Roll, was hat das damit zu tun?
just short of
ADC is so fucking broken competitive.
for G2, and I mean, so much of this
Insanely OP.
Skewmon back-to-back games. This man has been the hero for G2.
Really has. For MKOI, though, you are starting to get some of those masterworks. We see the upgraded Infinity Edge for Super. The gold lead is 5k, but those masterworks usually between about 750 to 1.2k golds worth of value.
Und das Wort mal gar nichts. Schunkos, ich, wenn ich lüge.
That Ornn levels up, we'll be able to get a little bit more back in their pocket.
Das Upper Bracket nicht Elimination, ja. Gewinner ist im Finale, Verlierer spielt Lower Bracket Finale. Nächste Woche Samstag.
They can try and fight around it. It's not the most impactful soul, but it is still pretty valuable.
I would say it's very impactful this game. It's going to be so hard for MKOI to try to maneuver in the fights if G2 are able to pick it up the soul. But G2 was in the same position last game, but with the
Man verliert alle Charaktere jedes Mal nicht. Ich glaube, wenn dann eine 407 Caitlyn auf den Jarvan drauf rennt später, würde ich da disagreeen.
Hansama to face check a brush.
Yeah,
LeBron
or
to flash.
LeBron to flash
TP
forward.
coming out. LeBron did look for the flash. There's the Rune Prism follow-up. Good damage onto the Nautilus. Forces him away. Caps coming in from the side as well. Decides to
TP from
complete the
Mirin is
recall.
quite the commitment. Bot wave, I think, is slow pushing in KOI's favor. They don't have a wave to play off in mid. With 40 seconds on the Dragon, G2 have enough time to go back to base and replenish wards, spend what gold they have. There's the Phantom Dancer now finished for Han, so he'll come into this fight with 3 items.
Jojo 2 levels behind.
Was für ein Onskin, der neue Aegis Frame On.
Now masterworked at 7 stacks. Needs 3 minutes more, but you do not have that time.
That crazy setup here. It looks like G2 will just run down mid and try to force them out. MKOI need to try to hold this spot.
Mirwin begins to back away. Caps trying to get in
Unser
from the
Dankeschön.
top side of the play. Jojo retreating for now. Control ward down from MKOI.
So, mein Jarvan hat noch kein GA.
So,
Wo kommt der Equalizer? Mervin ist ein Level hat.
tasty cupcakes waiting for LeBron if he steps further forward. Jojo, the hook, does not connect. Blast cone used by LeBron. MKOI still holding their ground in the river. Super gets chunked out a little. Jojo dodges the seismic shove. His fancy feet has the ballet shoes on this game, it seems. Elioya and MKOI will start up the Drake. Hansama still has the arrow. LeBron still has the depth charge. Dreadline lands onto Mirwin. Call of the Portal coming out. Equalizer on the
Equalizer decent, voll auf Alvaro.
Lands on the 3. The charm in. Elioya dives forward.
Boah, die zu so wenig Damage.
Mirwin on the front line. Skewmon chased up towards the top side.
Oh, wow. Geiler Turn von Skewmon. Geiler Turn von Skewmon. Sehr, sehr geiler Turn.
So good for MKOI, but Skewmon just keeps delivering as he takes
Das war sehr schön.
4 members, caps with the Cloud Soul, takes down Jojo as well. It's an ace for G2. It's a soul for G2.
Everton,
Probably going to be the Nash as the cherry on top.
I mean, I think you summarized it beautifully, Jack. The start of the fight looked so promising for KOI. They got the front to back. They start by picking off the support, and it looks so promising, but a lot of credit needs to be given to Broken Blade. Watch his equalizer. You'll see the ulti comes through initially from him, and this equalizer makes it so difficult for Super to follow up. Zin goes in, Elioya on the, the re-engage then comes through, and look at this ulti. Connects onto 3, the combo connects with caps, and they just melt the carries. A step too far from KOI was all Skewmon needed to bring KOI to their knees.
MKOI, a team that we so often praise for their team fighting. G2 here, just accepting the pressure.
Er ist auch nur bei Timon gesagt, ja, aber also was MKOI abliefert, ist nicht gut. Was MKOI abliefert, ist nicht gut.
Soul and a Baron, 2.5 minutes left on it here for G2. And what a performance overall from MKOI. You're looking at the last dregs of hope, at least in this game. It is a best of 5. You have 3 more to try and reverse sweep.
As far, it's been a statement series from Skewmon. I think a lot of people were looking at Elioya as one of the best junglers at maybe Yike. I think a lot of people were kind of down on the Skewmon stocks, especially with the rough regular season that G2 had. But this is the Skewmon that we saw last summer. This is the Skewmon that we saw dominate. I mean, he full clears, but after that, he is on the line.
16 kill participation out of 18, only missing 2 across the entirety of this game. And now G2 once again with that 2-lane split. Push for the bottom inhib. Tower will be able to take it. Can go for the inhib as well. Hansama unleashing his quiver onto it. Will take it down. G2 still have 90 seconds on the Baron. Skewmon making sure that cannon minion is buffed up. MKOI trying to defend the mid lane for now as Jojo split pushes.
Wir sind immer noch nicht.
That he is 1 down. They do respawn. Jojo now back.
Ja, ohne Flash.
Actualizer complete. I remember this from the regular season. A rise on a base defense with the actualizer just completed. Can MKOI pull the rabbit out of the hat? Can they get a little bit of sleight of hand? G2 not giving them the fight for now. The mid
Noch kein 16 bei Jojo. Got arrow.
Equalizer 2.
Got arrow.
Does not beat an equalizer, it seems, as Jojo falls first. Mirwin still on that front line, but MKOI having to back away.
GG.
Out by Elioya, but the dash in from Skewmon. Elioya falls as G2 wipe them away in the base. A 5-0 ace to top off a 27-minute win.
GG.